And hello, everyone. I'm Dan Lutz, and I'm here on the front lines in the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. How's it going today? Well,
Pretty good.
you're there. Okay. I was just about to say, and without my co-host, Tank.
Nah, I was coming. I actually was carless, so my phone died. I had no way to charge it, so I had to get home.
Okay. Well, good timing then. You made it just as the music intro was ending, and I was going to slide right into a special video I prepared.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so I'll share it first here, and then let me bring it up for everybody. And I call this the Trump, the Snake, and the Wall.
Trump, the snake in the wall. Okay, let's see.
They're warriors too, like my congressman, etc. So this is because we mentioned they mentioned illegal. This is about the song.
Oh, it's so hard to hear. Well, let me go ahead. We'll come back to this. The mic that he was on was very light anyway. So I tell you what, I'm just going to go ahead. I have it queued up in my my editor. Right. So I'm going to boost the sound on it and bring it back on in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
While we're talking, but anyway, it was from a speech that he gave today, so that's why it's pretty good.
Oh, a lot went down, on the weekend actually. Looks like what I hear.
Yeah,
A couple key bankers got arrested.
Xi Jinping is dead.
Is that official?
No.
Oh. Yeah.
Not official, but I guess there's now there is a post in the QAnon boards, not from Q, but saying that he caught the virus when he went to go visit, when they didn't know that it could spread from people that didn't have any symptoms. All right, and
very interesting.
yeah, so.
I don't know. I mean, that seems a little far-fetched to me. I mean, this virus is only killing people with compromised immune systems. So I have a hard time believing that Xi Jinping, President Xi doesn't have a...
Well, you don't know what his health condition is.
That's true. That's true.
I actually, was in a position to kind of see him in person, and he was not in good condition at the time. He had had pneumonia. This was 2014.
Wow.
So, yeah, hard to say exactly, but I would say it is possible that his immune system was not all it was. Crap, but he's an older man too, right? And that's usually what happens, right? Is these flus take hold against the that, and they may have tried some of the first vaccines on him, and that might not have done him in. Who knows? Anyway, we don't know.
Yeah, that could.
We don't know what happened. We don't know if it's true or it's just rumor. It's just that he's gone for the last 6 days. He's just not.
Yeah.
He's not around.
So. Right. Well, it's So wish him the best. I hope he's okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking that there was some very good signs that he was helping, in this transition.
Well, President Trump always mentions him.
Right.
Like he'll complain about China and then speak favorably about President Xi all the time.
Right.
He's obviously talking about the communist, faction in China, I guess, or I don't know, something, or the Chinese elders. So when he's complaining, but
Right.
but you know what? There's actually speaking of that, of the coronavirus, right? So Congress has a bill on the floor that basically wants to force vaccinate by the CDC to force vaccinate the entire country for the coronavirus, which is what I predicted, and now here it is.
Yeah.
So that would be the beginning of concentration camps and everything else, right?
Yeah. Well, and they also want to basically remove all aspects of deporting people that are criminals, that are here illegally, right, and to deport them, or those that were previously deported, they have to be brought back. I mean, it's insane. Everything that they do is from such a strange perspective, right? That I don't think that even if they were to pass it in the House, that Trump is going to sign it.
Well, you'd think. I mean, I get what's so interesting to me is like they're obviously, they've been got right now, right? I mean, you also got word that the Attorney General has released information about President Obama's public and private life that is incriminating, right? So that's up.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, a couple of key bankers have been removed. I'm not sure if that's from the planet or just from their positions, but I believe they were key bankers that were blocking. So that's pretty important. And then President Trump, he put up some, what is it? Something else he did good. I don't know, it just escaped me. But a lot of stuff going down. A lot of really important stuff that are that's taking place. I think, it's going to be, there's definitely arrests that are coming right now. You got to think, while all this debauchery with this trial has been going on, the whole world has watched them commit crimes. If you don't do something, it's like, it'd be a tragedy.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm a little concerned about Lindsey Graham at this point. He was on Deface the Nation, and he had and the way he was talking about Giuliani's evidence, he was like saying, "Hey, don't bring it to me. That's not my gig, right? I'm doing this over here." And then Rudy had some, nothing in general overly negative towards Lindsey. It was kind of more like if Lindsey will move, kind of thing, and had made a couple of comments, like that. So
yeah, I heard maybe a little bit of maybe a passive aggressive kind of jab there.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on there, but it does seem like there is something that should be thought about, how to make these things happen. So okay, hey, I've got this queued up now. So let me go ahead and share it with you. This Trump, the snake in the wall.
Cool.
Okay, here we go.
They're warriors too, like my congressman, etc. So this is because we mentioned they mentioned illegal immigration. This is about immigration. This is a song from the 1950s.
A song from the 1950s.
They mentioned illegal immigration, right? I used to do this a lot. People didn't know that.
Yeah, audio's bad.
And I'm going to do it tonight because you are giving us an opponent. And all of these people want open borders. They want open borders. And we don't want open borders. We want very strong, closed borders. And we want people to come into our country, but they want to come in through merit and we want them to come in legally, right? Right? With merit and legal. Right? So we'll do this quickly. This is a legal reform. Listen to how quiet. Now watch how quiet it gets so quiet. But this is all about I love you. There was a guy that said that, but I love it. I love everything. Ready? Go home. On her way to work one morning, down the path, along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a pool, half frozen. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried. I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her heart with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been fully Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in. God, that vicious. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. And if I hadn't brought you in by now, you too would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held his hand. But instead of saying thank you, the snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman. Sighed the vicious snake. I saved you, cried the woman, and you bit me. But why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
Well, I apologize for the audio on that, but you get the idea.
I mean, it's a good point.
You know, it's really obvious, you know, that when you like open up the jail cells without bail, or you and just let the criminals on the street, what's going to happen? If you bring criminals from that you deported already back to you know what's going to happen, right? If you openly allow everyone to come across the border and you have no idea who they are or where they came from or what circumstance, you know what's going to happen. It's all not good. So why are they so much in favor of it, right? And now we already know the answer is that they're selling out the country. They want to destroy it. They want to break it down and then rebuild it into, you know, a part of a dictatorship. You know, maybe a worldwide, area. Just think of Hunger Games, right? Their goal is to create Hunger Games.
Right. You know, I really think everyone who's sponsoring the bill, the New Way Forward, should be prosecuted. I mean, really. I mean, think about it. What the hell are you talking about? We're going to go get criminals from other countries that we've already identified as criminals and deported. We're going to bring them back in for what purpose? What is the positive of this in any way?
Well, it's this what Trump is hitting on here, and him reading this now. I'd like to get the much better version of it because it is a good one of these little good clips, a 2-minute piece where he just is reading this, and this really just tells a story. The tender-hearted woman, wants to basically do some good, and will do it for the worst creatures, and even the murderers and thieves and whatever. She wants to do this out of a tender heart, but it has nothing to do with what may happen right afterwards. Right? She may do her deed, but or the Democrats may do their deed, but where everyone is still going to get bit. Everyone is still going to have the negative consequences of them not having a brain, all right, and thinking things through. No critical thinking. I mean, if you just think, you wouldn't do it. Why would you do that? I'm going to die.
Right.
I mean,
It doesn't make even remote sense in any context to do this.
yeah.
I mean, it's really fascinating. I saw this clip the other day, and there's like some black guys, I guess, that were down in a park somewhere, and they had some sign up to let white people come over and pay them to kiss their boot. Right.
I'm sorry.
Exactly what you heard. So this white, so it must have been staged, but like it looked pretty authentic. So this young white couple, right? Probably 30, 35-ish, right? Healthy, attractive, right? They paid money to these two black guys who were there. They had some boots set up, and then kissed their boots.
Boots
right? to show their remorse for being white privileged.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
It was
ridiculous.
incredibly degrading to anyone, and I thought, wow, how has this actually become something that anyone is? I mean, how could you possibly be so self-defecating that you think that this makes it better to completely degrade yourself? I mean, it's like, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's a sickness, that's created in the world, by educating the students in schools to give this impression, to basically always talk down about America or the founding fathers or fathers in general, and they just put all this guilt and blame, to make
Right.
people feel bad about themselves. I think that's one of the things that Trump does is he basically just is basically building everyone up, everyone's self-image, about and what we are for. So this is what I knew growing up. Right, we're the best country, American exceptionalism,
Right. Totally.
and we are exceptional. We are. Right, and it is only because we have a constitution that taught us to act differently. We learned how to act as sovereigns, as kings to ourselves. King. Our house, our home is our castle. Right, it's
Sure.
that
Yeah.
concept. Is that this is mine. This is what I protect, and you have no rights to it. Right. There is no taxes, right? There, in the idea of the taxes are as sure as life, death and taxes, right?
Death and taxes,
Death
right.
and taxes, yeah. So you're gonna have to deal with both of them, right? But taxes for sales tax. Not really an issue with that, right? But when you start talking about income, you're talking, are talking about everything that you do, that you breathe, the CO2 that comes out of your mouth. You now have to be fined. You have to pay a tax. All right, it's all of this is comes from taking away what we were given in the Constitution, which actually really should be something that was worldwide. I always wondered, when I was young, well, why is it that we stopped, having states, come in, right? I know we got to Puerto Rico and we got to the Micronesia, and I said, well, why didn't they come on in? Come on in. The water's fine, right? I used to joke with a friend of mine in Canada. I said, you're just the northern states. Eventually, we'll get you.
Eventually we'll get, well,
Of course, I was just
expand the American empire.
yeah. Well, it's more voluntary, right? But it was more of but I was joking around with them. If you have a system that is based around freedom for the people, shouldn't that really be across the planet? I mean, if you want to talk about an empire, but voluntary. It's not something like you move your troops in and now you're going to deal with it that way. So, I'm not proposing that be the case, right? I was a young kid, 13, 14 years old, and this was some of the things I was, considering, like what is the reason why we stopped, and then I remember it came up for a vote in Puerto Rico. I said, "Oh, they're definitely going to join." Oh, they didn't, and it came down to taxes. They didn't want to have to pay taxes. So, well, that's probably a big reason to keep everyone out of it. I don't want it to be part of that.
Yeah, I've heard that about a lot of places down in south of the border, so to speak, right? Central America, South America. The cartels never wanted to go along with the Rothschilds. They wanted to have their own version of things.
Right.
Like El Chapo, right? El Chapo was a genius, right, in the way he kind of renovated things. But, they're all still controlled by the same thing because they all still had to pay their due on some level. But it's really amazing thinking about what's on deck right now. One is it's followed through on. I really think it's important more than I ever have in my life. I've never been a big fan of prayer, just from the standpoint of the idea of it's always seemed to me like we should have a constant interaction, in communication with God. It shouldn't just be when we want something, right? But I gotta be honest. I feel some sense of solidarity and importance around us, just really looking to Source, to God, the universe, to give us the authority and the ability and the understanding or the comprehension of how to even live free. To equip us with all those things, right? Like, and just help us take the gifts that we know are already ours, right? These are things that we already have. They're latent in man, right? The scripture reads that there's powers latent in man, meaning they're hidden. And I really, that's, probably talking about the DNA, but that was just talking about our ability to even live freely, and to make independent decisions that are good for us personally, our family, and everyone else around us, right? Like, we don't have to make decisions at someone else's expense, right? We don't have to get forward by stepping on the people around us.
Right.
And I just think that's so important, for us to have that expanded connection to each other and to God, or, however you see that to be. And I just think now more than ever, I really feel that. Like, it's so important. There's, here they are trying to issue this coronavirus, and here's the, and at the same time, they just acquitted the president, and then it's like they're still coming with their broken plan to try to enslave everyone. And the terrifying thing is that there's a real audience listening to that.
Right.
And they believe it, right? They believe they should be ashamed to be themselves. They believe they should let everybody in and let them walk all over it, and they should work all day. They should work 40 hours a week and pay taxes so they can give those people a chance, right? Not realizing that it's going to take their chance, right? And that they are actually end up becoming the slaves to those people coming in.
Right.
And people will willingly become slaves because of something they think their ancestors did. That's terrifying to me. You know?
Yep.
Every life has got to count. You know, and like, you know, if you're a criminal, like you are, you know, hurting people, we certainly should not, you know, go get you and bring you back. That's ridiculous.
Right. Well, even you know, the idea of reparations, paying for what happened in the past. You know, it's very difficult to basically say how does that actually solve anything? How does that actually correct, you know, any energies or that? Unless there was literally, a personal on a personal grievance basis, right? You know, hey, your family stole land from my family, and you're occupying it now, right? This is something that could be actionable, and you can get go to court and resolve, right? But you know, reparations for, like, you know, slavery, when the whole point of this was that, hey, we ended slavery, right? You know, the point is that we progressed out of that system, right? And there was a war about it. So we already made the reparations. We fixed the problem. There was even effort at that time. Was it two mules and something in a land, or they got land and a mule or something along those lines, and they were able to 2 acres and a mule. Maybe that's what it was, right? And there was efforts to make, you know, to help move past this, right? Right, and you want to look in the world today, you know, there still is slavery that we're dealing with, right? But it's not.
Yeah, there's actually more slaves per capita than any time in the history of the world.
Yeah, so we have to look, and it wasn't a black versus white thing, right? It wasn't.
No.
There were white slaves owned by blacks,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Kamala Harris, her family is from India.
Mm-hmm.
And they were dealing with slaves in Jamaica.
Yep.
Right? So, and she's claiming she's black, but she's Indian. Right? And that's why it's funny when she was on the debate stage, and she was, you know, Biden was saying about the first woman, dealing with the only woman senator or something like that. And it's great that she's able to come out and be at that position, you know, as a woman, and or even a woman of color. But her family is privileged, right?
Right.
She's come from a privileged family of slavers.
Yeah. And she tried to associate with everybody. Like, I remember in college listening to Dr. Dre, and I'm like, please, like, stop. Like, you don't know about Dr. Dre. Like,
I know more about Dr. Dre than she does.
I know. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, come on. I'm like, please. You know, I was thinking about something like suburban white kids who grew up in the 90s. They also listened to Dr. Dre and NWA and all types of gangster rap. Like, you know, that was our stuff. So I'm like, please. It's not like it makes you special. It doesn't make you blacker, you know, because you listen to that music.
Yeah, I used to like you know, the Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson and Prince and MC Hammer, right? And I used to do, you know, dances to this music, right? So, you know, the gangster rap, it just never took with me, right? You know, of course, I knew some of the songs, but you know, at the same time, you know, it didn't make me black, but it didn't mean I couldn't enjoy the music and go dancing.
Listen, I played the bass in all black gospel band for 10 years. Everybody in my church was black. At the end of the day, it didn't make me black. It didn't, you know.
Yeah.
Although my friends told me it made me the coolest white guy on the planet, but it didn't make me black.
I even like some, black gospel. I like the Blind Boys of Alabama. I get together with a friend of mine, and we listen to their stuff, and 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 this was even recent. I mean, relatively, maybe 15 years ago. For because that's some pretty old music, but. So it's just about appreciating music, is appreciating anyone. It's like cultural, and those things should be celebrated. But it doesn't really make someone, better than someone else, or that and you don't even have to like everything about anything or anything. I mean, that's like like I said, gangster rap is just not my thing, but. But
I mean, like this thing, it's so funny. I've been in so many deep conversations about these things over the years, right? Because, when I evangelized the Bible school in Queens, right? And there was my best friend, he's like, he grew up in the Bronx in South Jamaica. He's black and his wife is Jamaican, from Jamaica. And a majority of the class was lived in kind of impoverished neighborhoods, right? That struggled. And we would talk about this though, because he was an executive. There was other really prominent and successful people, and then in that whole class, right? And I remember I went to teach at Catherine and Count Basie Middle School, right, in South Jamaica, Queens. And in South Jamaica, Queens, there was two gangs. There was Money Over B, and there was West Side Merit. These two gangs that were always fighting. But I remember the first day of school, I was talking to the kids, and I said, "Okay, these are the rules of the classroom," and I was telling them all the rules, right? Like, raise your hand, stuff like that, right? And these kids was in the back of the room, and they were like gathered together, and they looked at me and they go, "Yo, this is a black school." And I looked at them and I go, "What does that mean to you?" Right? Because in their mind, because like 50 Cent is a gangster rapper from that area who was big at the time. Mm-hmm. And a lot of his nephews were in the classes. And I'm like, what does that mean to you? So the trick they played on the black community was like, this identifies us as something different, right? Being a gangster, being all these things that were all really, for the most part, negative, right?
Right.
The rap scene was like murderers, and they lived under like, oh, you're going to be athletes and this, right? And I could see it when I lived in that neighborhood, like how like there wasn't any health food stores and there wasn't any options, right? There wasn't anything to do, right? And it was just stacking people on top of people, right? And they wanted out, so they associated being black with being a criminal, right? But I was like, that's not fair, because that's not what it means, And that was that was like that in that whole school. The whole time I taught there for 2 years, and I worked with those kids a lot to really like gain their respect. And man, it was crazy though. Like that's the kind of broken mentality that we have, right?
Oh, yeah. It's like my son, right? He started wearing, it was these clothes where your pants were hanging down below your butt. Right.
Yeah.
And I said, do you know what this actually means? Why they were wearing their clothes that way? So in the jail cell, it would be easy to do them. Right?
Well, yeah, it was an advertisement to let other guys know, like, you can, have sex with me, right?
Yeah. So I explained to my son. I said, so this is what you're telling everybody you want to do?
Right.
It's like they're shocked. It was him and his posse, right? And I'm telling them all this. None of them knew. I said, but right. This is what you think is so cool, right? This is what you're telling people to do.
Yeah. So, right. That is. I would get on the kids about that all the time. And they were never from my class that way. I'm just like, kid. It's not gangster, right? It's not what you think it is. It doesn't make you
It does not make you tough.
Hardcore.
It makes you the opposite.
Yeah. And that's the kind of psyops that they would run on like communities in different ways, right?
Yeah.
Everybody. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're trying to flip the script right now, right? Make white people ashamed for being white and, all types of things like that. And, next thing you know, it'll be the benevolent, wise Chinese will be, what they're trying to push next. The poor, the poor dreaming, forced to be a criminal, Mexicans or Guatemalans or Hondurans or whatever it is they're trying to promote, right? It's like, how about we just create new opportunities and let things happen naturally?
Yeah.
And let's obey laws. Let's all agree, like, you rape a kid, you're going to jail, right? Or you're going to be killed, something like that. Or if you kill somebody, like, probably you should, go to jail for life or face a death penalty.
Right.
Like, if you made a mistake one time, it's okay. There should be leniency, right? But it's like, we know there's real crimes that people are doing and they're repeat offenders. And they're not trying to stop. You don't go recruit criminals you already kicked out. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like, we've already established it.
Well, it does look like there is, some things ready to happen, and I hope that it is, immediate arrest. And I don't know who it's going to be first, but Q is implying it's the shot that's heard around the world. So, my top picks, though, it'd be great if it was, Obama or Hillary or Kerry or Mitt or Biden or all of them.
I think Hillary Clinton announced she was running for president in the hopes that somehow they can paint the picture that Trump is arresting her because he's afraid of her.
I just, I saw this on one of the posts. The cops that were the attempted murder on the cops.
Yeah.
Someone said that they were the ones that saw what was on Wiener's laptop, the insurance policy.
Oh, wait, there's a new one? Like a new attempt? I mean, 7 of the 9 suicides in New York, they did.
No, the ones that just happened like 2 days ago. The guy walked up to the.
Wow.
Is that these guys had seen what was on Wiener's laptop, the insurance policy. So
that's a big deal because the Sergeants Benevolent Association is 13,000 members strong, and they have come out outright and said we are against de Blasio, and they are defiantly going to take him down. So that would make a lot of sense. I think de Blasio is directly responsible for the fake suicides that happened on everybody who's seen Wiener's laptop.
Well, I also since that's the file that Hillary was cutting the face off of the child and then doing all those despicable things, that if that is about ready to hit, right? If that is about ready to come out and they are still complaining, these are deep fakes, it's not real, that kind of thing. But they want to get rid of the people that could say, no, it's real, I saw it first, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense.
Yeah, that would make sense. I knew one of those guys who, not one of these guys in this particular incident, but one of the guys who did commit suicide allegedly 3 days before his retirement. And it really, really, there's no way that would happen. There's been 9 suicides detected, of varying degrees, chiefs and different police this year in New York, in 2019. And 7 of 9, I can confirm, actually had access to Wiener's laptop. I don't know about the 9, I think the other 2. But that's, that makes sense. They've been trying to take him out for a while.
Well, but they survived. That's one thing. So it would.
That's huge, yeah.
It would then, if they're going to bring it out and they're trying to wipe these people out, this would be the time to bring it out and make it obvious. But the stories are so interwoven.
Yep.
So like Hillary, she's selling uranium to Russia. At the same time, Obama is moving money to fight through Ukraine to basically have a proxy war to fight Russia. Right?
It's crazy.
Right. So they're interwoven, and I don't and it's not like they both didn't know what was going on. They're both involved on both sides, right? And that it was just about getting, it's selling out, right? Selling out the country, selling out, every which way, upset Russia so that they could cause a war, right? They
Right.
want a spark to happen somewhere. And by the way, Russia, them getting that uranium and then moving it into some nuclear weapons, it traces back to Russia, right? But they diverted it to Syria so they can say, oh, the bomb went off in Israel. And who caused it? It was Russia. Because that's the uranium we gave to them. Okay? It's all just any which way that they can keep pushing one way or another. It doesn't matter which way the war started, right? They make money, they make money, they make money, they make money, but while getting everyone set up, to cause the war to happen.
What's so tragic to me, right, when I hear this stuff, is like you can tell everybody had to be compromised because you pull one thread and the whole thing comes unraveled. I mean, it's not even hard to find this stuff out. It's like, I mean, when the way they describe it in Congress, it's like, we can't believe we found this. It's like, we've been talking about it for years, like sharing evidence, talking about it, showing it. Like, everybody knows it except for you idiots in the government. Like, how are you that secluded? It's like so obviously they're either in on it or complicit or whatever. I mean, so many different people. So I'm actually excited to see what shakes out and who's not, who came over, to the good guy side. Who's standing up and actually doing something about it. Think about this. Last year, the FBI agent who is actually investigating, he investigated white collar crimes for the FBI. Right. He was investigating the Clinton Foundation. He allegedly had lots of bad information. Whatever was said to him, whatever was shown to him, terrified an FBI agent so much. So maybe he was triggered, I don't know. That he walked onto a dance floor of a nightclub and committed suicide in the middle of the dance floor. I mean, that is some serious,
Yep.
mind control kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So basically, everything that he had done, because it's such a dramatic way to kill yourself. All the work that he did basically would speak to he's mentally unstable.
Right.
Right? Why else would he kill himself? It's such a dramatic fashion.
Right.
Like, so that's probably part of the reason why he did it. So it's like that's the kind of thing they do to people. They make them mentally unstable.
Right. Yeah, they could have said, "Well, this is what we're gonna do to your daughter unless you do this." It could be something like that.
Right. Or hey, we're going to show this video of like, what we had you do when you were, when we got you all jacked up, right?
Right.
Because you got to think, like, he was interviewing very close to the Clintons, like, and everybody, everyone's always talking about how pure evil they are, how terrifying like these people in the order are. That, they can control your mind. I'm like, man, please, like, that is not only if you're susceptible to it. It's just not true. Like, you're not controlling my mind with how scary you are. Give me a break. Like,
Yeah.
all this stuff, it's just, it really is. But I'll tell you what, though, something has got to drop this week, like big, and repeatedly. And it has to result in arrest, it has to result in money coming in, because we are at a tipping point, a breaking point, where you're about to try to tell people that they, the other side keeps moving, right? They keep doing stuff. You've got to put weapons in the hands of the people so that they can stand up for themselves. And in my opinion, that means the people having money, able to move money, able to, create lawful defenses, create real businesses that are actually protecting the people, able to stand up and say, you can't do this anymore. What a lawful system that is constitutional that protects the people. And let it be known that that's what's happening. And demonstrate what it looks like, It's time. It's time. I mean, once this goes, it's going to have to drop like dominoes. It's going to have to flow out.
Yeah, full on. That's why I'm leaning towards it being something like Obama going down. They're just arrest Obama.
If Obama goes down, there's no way you could take Obama down without taking out both Hillary and Bill Clinton simultaneously. You have to take them all out.
And Biden. And
Biden,
and the list goes on, right? So it's like it goes all the ways to the Bushes, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So it's not. I mean, it's like Clinton's, Obama's, Biden's, Bush's. They all get picked up at the same time. Literally. I mean, and everyone's going to be shocked and say, yeah, but this was the coup. Here's all the pieces. This is what they did. And not only that, here's the other stuff, right? And then, of course, by the way, we had to pick up the media. And everyone will clap. Yay, the media's gone. Really, who's believing them, right? Such a small portion of the people that actually believe them. They'll be so glad to say, yeah, these guys, it was all part of a scam. Everyone believe it.
Right.
So everyone's awake enough that they can make the big move.
Oh, I can't wait. That's right. Well, hey, man, it's going to be a breakthrough week. Let's build up energy and store it up. And
okay.
Everybody pray for amazing things and work in our favor.
Yes. Yeah, it's okay. We can pray. We can pray together on that. Because this is something that it's time, right? It's time to make the transition.
Yep, absolutely. All right, man. I appreciate it. You have a great night, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Good night to you as well. All right, everyone. Be sure to subscribe. I'm watching the numbers. It's still going it's going up, 2, down 1, up, 2, down 1. Every day. It's so ridiculous. Let's see if we can punch through. Let's get some subscription numbers up. Let's just see if there's a spike. Let's see if we can make a spike, on this chart. And I'll show it to you. See if it actually happens. But anyway, all right, everyone, and be sure to come to the website www.g1wga.love. There you can sign up for a membership to make donations of $1.11 a month. $8.88 a month, $99.99 a year, or any of the others that are there, are all very welcome and help out. And gold grain coin is going well. We're having are now building an exchange for it as of right now, so as a stable coin to do a pairing with it. So that's underway. But we're still moving the coins out. They act like gold. Gold in your pocket, or gold in your phone. Be better. Gold in your phone. Anyway, until tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.